All right. Welcome,
Beautiful.
Gerard. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly.
You are. You are.
All right.
Where's
And
your bride?
T. Buddha,
Close, no cigar. It's Gerhard, if you really want to get
girlfriend.
one. But that's close enough. I looking forward to hear you guys. Good to see everybody.
Yeah,
Good
you
to see
too. Good to
you.
see you, bud.
My bride
Hey,
is doing some other stuff at the moment.
She's a little
okay.
bit easier on the eyes, if you know
Oh
what
my
I'm
gosh.
saying. But you know
You know how
what? It's so great to have you here.
you know how to make a friend, Keith.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long
That's all
day.
right. Keith has to look at me at least 2 or 3 times a week.
I
So
gotta
he's,
look. I gotta look at myself for 10 hours a
yeah,
day on these stinking Zoom calls.
yeah, right. He
This
has
Uh,
to
is true.
watch himself talk to other people in
uh,
recordings. It's painful.
it's-
Well, hey, Gerard, you asked about replays. We're putting a lot of our replays up on our YouTube channel. So I did share that link to you.
Okay, all right. And I didn't quite catch that. I did see that
Okay.
you're selling I missed something. I know you're selling the course,
Yeah. So
but
some
I
of the
didn't.
replays have been put into courses already because Keith shared too much. And so I had to put it in a course instead of giving it away for free.
And actually, kudos to you guys.
Uh,
I just learned a ton. I really appreciate you for your insight, and I know a lot has come from blood, sweat, and tears. And I know, Keith, you started way early, being the breadwinner in your family at way too early age,
yeah,
being robbed of your youth.
yeah,
But man, is there a dividend paying off here?
yeah.
Incredible
I
what
agree.
you're
Thank you for
doing.
saying that.
Yeah,
I
no, way to
appreciate that
go.
very much.
Salute you.
Thank you.
That's it. That's it. Well, so if you guys are looking for replays, there's kind of two places. Because we live stream in REI Secrets,
Hmm.
a lot of the replays are there.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to hunt for them a little
Hmm.
bit. We try to name the post the same name as whatever the live was called, the event was called.
Okay.
And then we also are putting them on our YouTube channel. And I'll get a
Under,
link and
under,
I'll throw
under,
the YouTube channel link into the chat
um,
here so
perfect. And that
you
will be
can
under the
grab that.
name renegotiation or a negotiation or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. The
I haven't
negotiation
named
one
it.
is gonna be it's not quite ready yet.
Yeah.
Okay. All
As
right.
soon as it's ready,
We'll
it
give it
will
to
be
you.
there.
Stay tuned.
And I will email it out to everybody as well.
No, I
Um,
understand. And
okay,
there's going to be
no
a
worries.
part two, I understand, to
That
come
there
in.
is.
There is.
And I kind of decided I wanted to hold off on it because I
Tease me.
thought the topic for today
He's like,
was,
dang it.
sorry, I thought the topic that we're talking about today is kind of immediately important and something to discuss that has probably been on a lot of people's minds,
Mhm. Yeah.
and that is to do with the market itself and the economy in the U.S. and how that and interest rates and the ability of people to get loans. And all of these things. And that's like what's going on right now and how, as a real estate investor, can you be successful in 2024? We're halfway through, so maybe we're a little bit late with the messaging, but
Well, actually, it's a very
uh,
timely message because there is a very strange thing going on in the market. And I don't
Yes.
know if it's because it's an election year, but at least no, here for our market here in Georgia, we usually have about 5,000 foreclosures a month for the whole state. And currently it's right about 1,000, sometimes not even. So normally we are a non-judiciary foreclosure state, so things go quick.
Fast.
They used to be done in 60, 90 days. They drop the hammer and it's game over. But that is not the case anymore. Now it is 5, 6, 8 months behind. Also, reinstating the loan used to be $5,000, $7,000, $8,000. Now sometimes it's 100.
So huge. Yeah, literally.
Yeah. So things have really changed. Of course, the numbers, the values have increased hugely in the last 5 years. They have almost doubled.
Yeah.
But so there is a lot going on under the surface, and nobody knows exactly under which hand is the ball at the moment.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going. I have a banker friend who he's actually in Florida, and he tells me values are dropping at the moment in Miami and Fort Myers and many of the areas, and there's a lot coming, but it
Yeah.
hasn't come yet.
Yeah. Well,
So
we'll
your
talk about that
message
today.
is timely.
I believe that. Well, we'll get into it. We'll get
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
thank you for sharing some of those things, and I'm sure others here, Mamoon and Pat,
Hey, Mamoon.
welcome to turn your video on and join the conversation. And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but the Buddha, because everyone, wherever you are, you're in your own unique place, and you have your own network, and you're observing things. So it's always good to hear other people, everyone's perspectives on what's happening, and get a read on things, because yeah, it helps us help the whole community. So today, that's what we're talking about. What is working now, and like how can you operate successfully as a real estate investor right now? And obviously, this is just Keith's perspective, and everyone has probably their own ideas about how to be successful, what to do. But this is what's working for Keith and his our real estate investing business right now. So without further ado, Keith, go ahead, lead away, and I'll ask questions as they come up, but interested
Great.
to hear your thoughts. Yep.
Yeah, we are going to be talking about several things here. I'm trying to prepare a chart to discuss this. Here it is. All right. How the heck are real estate investors even doing deals in 2024? I think that we are about to enter into an extremely turbulent time. And I kind of went on record about a year ago stating, like, there has to be a market correction. I was so convinced of it that I literally bet my life on it. We liquidated properties. We sold off darn near everything. And I was so fearful, and admittedly still am, fearful that there's potentially it's going to be relatively catastrophic to the US dollar. And so I, put money into three places. I put money into real estate. I put money into cryptocurrency that I felt was safe. And I put money into precious metals, specifically silver. And all three of those have done exceptionally well the last year. Everything. Our cryptocurrency is up, I think, over 150% in the last year. Silver didn't go up that much. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'd have to look into it. It grew more in the last year than it did the last 5 years. If you were to look at each one of those years, it did really well. And then obviously we all know that the values of real estate have gone up as well. However, the market never softened. The market never crashed like I thought it was going to, or at least it didn't even indicate a correction. But as of three weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, I started to see those indicators nearly prove. There's 3 indicators that you should watch that will nearly prove when there is a market correction. And I believe that 2 weeks ago, when the Fed deliberated with interest rates, that signed, sealed, and delivered, basically the death blow. So the 3 things that I want to talk about is the 10-year Treasury note, interest rate, and home valuations. Okay, 10-year Treasury note and interest rates are directly correlated. I'd like you to think about 2 levers. When this lever goes up, this lever has to go up. If this lever goes down, this lever has to go down. This is what's called a direct correlation, where they go in the same direction. So these 2 are always in tandem, always in tandem. It creates dissonance if they start to spread, and it creates pressure if it starts to contract. if they are not in unison, havoc gets released. Now, those two things are direct correlation. They're always the same. But home values is always an indirect correlation to these, meaning if these things go up, then this thing has to go down. If these things go down, then this thing has to go up. I'd like you to think about the last 4 years, for example. Interest rates were sitting in the 5s, and then it went to the 4s, and then it went to the 3s, and then it went to the 2s. Well, what happened to home prices in those exact same years? Home prices went up, and now we see we see interest rates going up. And what have we noticed though? Home values, have they gone up? Yes. Should they have gone up? No, they should have gone down. As the interest rates went up, the prices, the value of homes should go down. But we haven't seen that. We've seen them go up. And so that's problem number one that I'd like to talk about briefly. And then problem number two is actually the gap between the 10-year Treasury bond and interest rates, because there's typically just a 2 points difference here, always. I'd like to share this little screen grab that I got. You can see going back over this century, since 2000, every single time this goes up, the other follows. And you'll start to notice 2023, in 2023, the distance between these, they started to change. If I were to measure, if I were to measure the distance between here and here, this is not the same distance between here and here. Yes, and if I were to choose any spot in this whole entire graph, it's going to be the same. I don't care where you are, it's going to be a 2 point difference, but you don't see a 2 point difference here. And this graph is very out of date. January 2023. The graph has continued to create dissonance, meaning they're separating. And Gerhard, you brought up an election year. Well, statistically, only one time during this graph, only one time in an election year has interest rates ever gone up between July and October. Only one time, and I think it was 2001. You have to look it up. I'm fairly confident that it was 2001. It's the only time that interest rates have always gone down. They never stay the same, and they never go up. So it's really interesting what we're seeing in the market right now. And so you may have a bleak outlook with what's happening in the marketplace. And I'd like to submit to you that there's more opportunity now than there ever has been before, at least in my real estate investing lifetime. I have been doing this for 8.5 years, so I'm still a little baby, I guess. 8.5 years, 6.5, 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 years, almost 9, almost a decade. I'm excited about that decade mark. I've only been doing this for 8.5 years. I'm in 3rd grade with my real estate investing career. I still have a lot to learn, but my God, the amount of opportunity that we are seeing right now. I have put more properties under contract this month than I did the last month, and the month before that, the month before that, the month before that, the month before that, and all of last year, except for January of last year. It's 18 months. We hit our record this month, and we may get 2 more by the end of this month. And we haven't seen a month like this since January of last year. 18 months have gone by. There's a lot of opportunity, and I'd like to share with you a couple of things right now. People are getting priced out. People are starting to feel pinched. They're feeling the pain of, they're starting to feel the pain of the economy right now. And so I'll bring up that our big 5 motivation, divorce, inheritance, pre-foreclosure, health issues, safety issues, and tired landlord. These are 5 big 5 motivating factors that more than 85% of all of our deals come from. And here's the thing, folks. They're never going to go away. Those things are always going to happen. If you're in a good market or you're in a bad market, people are still going to die. People are still going to get divorced. People are still going to lose their jobs and not pay the bank. People are still going to wreck houses and not pay their landlord. People are still going to get sick and have cancer or be abused in a domestic violence situation. Unfortunately, we live in a fallen world and all of these things are going to happen. So let's help those people. And I'd like to extend to you that there is an opportunity for us right now to help those people more than ever before, because they're feeling a more painful pinch than ever before, because those things are still happening, but in a downward market, in an economy that is not conducive to people being happy and frivolously spending money on vacations and things that they would like to have. There's an immense opportunity. I've only come prepared to tell you two things in this live video. This property. I'm going to kind of merge this actually into two topics. We're talking about how the heck are real estate investors even buying properties right now, but I also want to tell you, in a downward market, creative financing thrives. In an upward market, cash is king, but in a downward market, creative financing is so much more powerful on both the buy side as well as the sell side when we are acquiring properties and when we're selling properties. If you don't know how to structure deals to solve the seller's problem and make as much money as you can, you're going to do less deals than you should. If you're only thinking about cash as my entrance strategy, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. All right. I'd like to share this house with you. This house, ARV, as you can see, this is for sale. This is a house that I own. We're selling it. We're selling it for $130,000. I'm fairly confident that I found my buyer today. I spoke with her this morning, and I'll tell you a little bit about this house in a little bit. But let's just talk about giving an offer. A lot of people are like, "How in the world are you buying houses? You must be given so many lowball offers." No, I'm not. I don't make any offers at all. But let's pretend. Let's play a little game, and hold on. Let's see who is in the room really quick. Card, unfortunately, I know what you know. Mamoon, unfortunately, I know what you know. Thibuda, Jen, and Quenisha. I would like one of you to answer this question, if you're willing. This is going to be really lame if nobody answers the question. But you can see on my screen here, we're selling the house for around $130,000. I will tell you that we did a renovation. We can look at the photos if you'd like. I can tell you that we did a renovation and it cost us about $12,000, almost to the penny actually. It cost us $12,000 to finish this renovation. So the ARV is $130,000. The repairs are $12,000. So how much would you have offered on this house?
I probably would offer like somewhere between 40 and 60K.
40 and 60K. Wonderful. Those are great numbers. Thank you for that. Jen, you came off mute. What about you?
ARV and repair.
ARV is 130. Repairs is 12. How much would you offer?
$69.
All right. Jen would have offered 69. Quenisha, I love your numbers, man. You big cojones. That's a good. That's the lowest number I think I've heard. I've asked several people about this. I like that. 40 to 60. Here, whichever one of you can answer this faster. I don't really care. If you were just swinging for it and you're like, I'm just gonna see if they'll go for this. Like, what is the lowest that you think that you could successfully get this house under contract for?
successfully, I would probably go with like 60.
How much?
Like my confident number would probably be 60. Like,
60. Okay.
yeah, that's my confident number, but I would probably have to do a little bit more due diligence to order a lower, negotiate a lower price.
Okay. All right. 60. Jen, you came off mute. Do you have
I
a?
say 62.
All right. So you're both at 60. This is largely the number that I hear. Actually, oftentimes I'll hear above 60. Anywhere between 60 and 80 is what I have shown this to several people in across different days and different, atmospheres. But 60 to 80 is what I continue to hear. I'd like to show you what I actually bought the house for. Public record doesn't lie. I can show you the purchase and sales agreement. I can show you the HUD. Gerard, I love your face, bro. I wish I could see everybody's face. Y'all see this?
Yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah.
$18,000. So lesson number one, how the heck are real estate investors even buying houses? Number one, never make an offer. Because Jen and Quenisha, if you offered $60,000 and they took it, but I don't make any offers. If I had made an offer, I would be making exactly $42,000 less than what I will be making now, right? If you want, well, I'm just going to say something kind of frank and rude. If you want to continue giving real estate investors a bad name, then continue to throw out dirty lowball offers. It's disrespectful. Nobody likes it. You're never going to get good feedback. It's always an uncomfortable position. You may even feel like you're taking advantage of somebody when they're kind of in the hardest part of their entire life. That's how I feel. Now, I'm not saying don't buy houses at incredibly steep discounts. Hopefully everybody is understanding. These are two separate things. I just don't make an offer. I have the seller make an offer to me. And then we do what we call reverse negotiation, where I don't negotiate.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, Keith. Sorry to cut you off
Oh, please.
because like I've been I was just in that predicament to where I was negotiating. Well, I didn't really want to start negotiating, but I was like, something was just telling me like not to make an offer, like don't throw an offer out there
Yeah.
because like I like to feel confident in my offer price. So I'm like, I don't know, something was just telling me like don't throw an offer out there, like unless see what they want to like make from the deal,
Yep. So we had
Okay, I'm
we
sorry.
had no, please don't say sorry. Thank you very much. It's a breath of fresh air to have some participation on these calls. The only thing that would be better is if I could see your face. We had a part one of our negotiation series last week, and we will likely or probably finish that up with part two next week. And so if you haven't already, I encourage you to watch that video and stay tuned for next week. But
As soon as we get it on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. I want to submit to you, like you will do less deals. I will admit this, okay? If you don't make an offer, you will do less deals. And if I leave it at that, then you probably are never going to listen to anything that I have to say. But I guarantee you will do less deals and you will make far more money on those deals than if you give an offer. You will do less. It's a less is more mentality. Do you want to keep yourself busy, chained with, it's just like a W-2. It's just like golden handcuffs. Oh, I did 50 deals last year. Okay. You did 50 deals and I did 12. And I made more money on 12 deals than you did with 50 deals. Like, who cares what the number is? I care what the bank statement says. Right? I'd rather do less deals and make more money on those deals. Billy, great to see you. Thanks for being here. You just missed the most exciting part. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, number one, don't make an offer. Ever. You cannot make an offer. Number two, structure the deal so that it is incredibly lucrative. I want to tell you something. I didn't pay this seller $18,000 when I bought this. I paid the seller $6,000. I paid the seller $6,000 cash at close, and I haven't paid her a dime since. So it's called a seller carryback or seller financing or owner financing. I owe her $12,000, but I'm not going to pay her $12,000 lump sum. I'm going to pay her back in $500 per month for 24 months. And I don't have to make those payments until 6 months after I sell the deal. That's what our promissory note says. So how much money did I need to close the deal and successfully flip it? Has anybody done the math yet? I needed $6,000 for the seller, but then I also did a renovation. So if y'all remember, it's $12,000 for the renovation. 6 plus 12, 18,000, plus maybe $4,000 for soft costs, holding costs, things like this. I'm about to begin my negotiation process. This lady, she was like, I want to buy your house. I was like, great. Have you seen it? And she said, no. I said, well, I'm not selling you my house then. And she said, well, why not? That's crazy. And I said, because I want to make sure that you like it. What's so crazy about that? You know, you haven't even seen it. And she said, I'm quitting my job next week. I'm selling my house. I'm leaving my hometown. I have to get away from this place. I gotta move somewhere out in the woods. I want to just be able to walk my dogs, kayak, go for walks in the park and everything. This place has like 2 or 3 acres. And I've done my research. Bassett's where I want to live. I'm moving. And I said, okay, that's all fantastic. You have to see the house before I'll agree to sell it to you. And so she's flying up tomorrow. She's buying a ticket. I think she might even be leaving tonight. Literally, I talked to this woman this morning. And so here's the thing. I structured this deal so that I bought it, purchase price, as you all can see, $18,000, but $6,000 now and $12,000 later. That $12,000 is going to be in $500 per month, principal only payments, by the way. There's no interest, 0% interest on this $12,000. 0% interest, $12,000 to be paid in principal only monthly payments beginning 6 months after I sell the house. Why did I do this? Because what can I do with this house? Can I wholesale it? Yes. Can I wholesale it? Yes. Can I retail it? Yes. Can I wrap this? Yes. Can I novate this? No, because I own it. You can't novate something that you can know. That's a trick question. But could I have novated it if I so desired? Yes. And I didn't have to take title to it. Could I rent it? Yes. I could even Airbnb this. Shoot, I literally even thought about keeping this as a second home for us to go to and just like go shooting in the woods and go walk in the park myself. Ended up not doing it. Anyway, here's the deal is she's going to pay, she has already agreed to pay $30,000 as the down payment. This balloons all the money that I have sunk into the deal. By the way, it's not my money. It's my private money, lender's money. I have $1 into this deal through my Roth solo 401k that's self-directed. So I put $1 earnest money from that, and all of the proceeds from this deal will go to my self-directed Roth solo K, and it'll grow tax-free. I want you to think about what I'm about to tell you. She's going to put $30,000 down. I have $18,000 in. Let's call it 22 though. I think legitimately, I think I'm going to have about $2,000 to $3,000 of soft costs. We haven't closed yet. It'll probably be $3,000 to $4,000 of soft costs. So let's take it up to $22,000. That means $8,000 day one of the sale of this property. I will have $8,000 cash collected right now. And then what are the payments? Well, let's look at this. If we sell this house for $130,000 and they put $30,000 down, then it's called UPB. The unpaid principal balance is $100,000. Okay. Let's throw this into a financial calculator very quickly so you can see the payments. $100,000. It's what is owed to me. I'm going to wrap that at a 9.99% interest rate. And it's going to likely be over 15 years. 15 times 12 months in a year is 180. So the term is 180 months. The monthly payment is going to be $1,073.99. I don't have to make any payments for the first 6 months of the loan. And then I have 24 months to make $500 per month to pay off the $12,000 that I owe the seller. But I'm not going to do that. Well, potentially I will. I'm okay with doing that. But what would I rather do? We're going to have to charge people after this freaking recording is done. What am I actually going to do? I'm going to call up the seller. I'm going to say, hey, Mrs. Seller, I came into some cash recently. And I'm calling everybody that I owe money to, seeing if I can pay them off a little bit early for a little bit of a discount. Now, I don't have all the money that I owe you, but would you accept a partial payment right now, cash, instantaneously, like in the next 2 weeks or so, in lieu of the full $12,000 that I owe you that was supposed to get paid off over the next 2.5 years? And I'm going to start with $4,500. And I will likely settle, if you will, for about $5,000 to $6,000. I pretty consistently will settle around the 40% of what is owed. If I owe $12,000, I will probably settle around $5,000. With that being said, it's $8,000 that I'm getting cash now, and then I'm going to give $5,000 cash to her. So I actually am only going to make $3,000 right away. But then I'm never eating into the cash flow. And for the next 15 years, I will cash flow approximately $1,100 per month. There's also a $25 servicing fee on the note. So literally it's going to be 1 cent away from $1,100 per month going into a 401k growing tax-free. So number one, we never make offers. Number two, we structure deals on the acquisition side. So that's what I'm talking about is between me and the seller. We structure deals so that we have multiple exit strategies. As I mentioned before, I could have wholesaled this. I could have wholetailed this. I could have retailed this. I'm going to wrap it. I could have novated this. I could keep it as a rental, short-term, mid-term, or long-term. Everything worked on this deal. Everything. If you buy houses right, you can do anything you want on the sales side and make a profit. Number one, never make an offer. Number two, structure deals appropriately on the acquisition side. And then number three, structure deals appropriately on the disposition side. Disposition means dispose of, which doesn't mean throw them away. It just means sell them, right? And so I'm going to go back to what I was sharing earlier about the economy. Does anybody happen to know of all the people that tried to get loans, that actively applied for a loan in the month of May this year? How many of them got declined? In the month of May this year, so we're talking just 60 days ago, how many of them did not go through? Or the month of April, or the month of March? Anybody have any idea? 20%, all right. That's a decent guess. Any other guesses here? Depending on your source, it's going to be in the low 60s to high 60s. I've even seen some recently that are in the 70s.
Can you find one of those sources?
Oh, you could just Google this. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people got declined for a mortgage this year? I should say, not how many. What percent?
I heard that in the commercial sphere, there is huge declines going, especially in office space, of course, at the moment. But I don't have any numbers or guess at residential.
National mortgage says 61. Bank rate says 58. Forbes says 21.8. Origin. Oh, this is 2018. This is not even relevant.
Yeah. I was trying to find it and it wasn't clear. A lot of the information was old and it was hard for me to find. And then I started doing calculations. I was asking ChatGPT to I gave ChatGPT the ideal profile for someone that the bank is going to say yes to.
Mm,
And I said, based on these numbers, credit score and other stuff, what percentage of Americans could actually get approved for a mortgage? And like it spit out a number was like 15%. It's like
yeah.
that's way too
So
low.
the interest rates right now, I want you to literally think about this. What is prime at right now? Prime is at 8.5. What is prime lending at today? 8.5.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It just went it went up 25 basis points since the last time. So we're at 8.5%. A $400,000 house at 8.5 versus a $400,000 house at 4.5 versus a $400,000 house at 2.5. The difference is going to be like $1,000 each. You have to have $2,000 more at 8.5 than you do at 2.5. It is
Per month, right?
astronomically different. You will literally cut your buying power in half, going
Mm.
from 2.5. I think the number is 6 point something. You cut your buying power in half. And we've seen that happen. So less people are able to qualify for the loan at their desired price. They can qualify for a loan, maybe just at half the price that of the house that they want to be qualifying for. So rule number 1, never give an offer. Rule number 2, structure it appropriately in the acquisition. Rule number 3, structure it appropriately on the disposition. How can we take advantage that 60, maybe 70% of people cannot qualify for a loan? Well, do exactly what I'm doing on this deal and owner finance the house. You become the bank of Keith, the bank of Billy, the bank of Jen. Structured appropriately and hold a note. People talk about passive income. I have a lot of, between me and my wife, I think we have 8 streams of income. One of them is passive. Like actually truly passive. Everybody wants to get into real estate for passive income, and they all think that rentals is the way. I'm here to tell you freaking rentals is not passive, okay? Anybody who tells you that rentals is passive doesn't have very many, or they haven't had them for very long. Or they know some freaking crap that I and thousands of other people have not figured out yet. It's not passive. Holding notes is the closest thing to passivity that you can get. Who's bigger? A bank or a property management company? Y'all know any national property management companies? No, because they don't freaking exist. Maybe they do, but on a low level. Y'all ever heard of any chain banks that happen to be in all 50 states? Yeah, there's plenty of them.
Yep.
I could
And
rattle
around
off
the world
8 right now. Yeah. There's tons of them. Why? Because it's truly passive. What can go wrong with a toilet? What can go wrong with a faucet? What can go wrong with a roof? What can go wrong? Tenants busting holes in your wind, ripping up your shingles, somebody breaking out your wind. All those things can happen if you own a rental. And who has to fix it? The landlord, the owner. It's not the tenant. It's not the person who's living there. You're on the hook. You own the house. When you don't own the house and you only own the paper, what's the one and only one thing that can go wrong? The borrower doesn't make their payment. And there's only one course corrective action to take. You foreclose. There's one thing that can go wrong. There's only one thing that you have to do. There is an unlimited amount of things. There's an infinite amount of things that can go wrong with a rental. And unless you are like Superman, you have to go find somebody else who's going to make money off of providing that service. Whereas foreclosing, you can do that yourself. It's one piece of paper. Here's a notice. That is it. And then foreclose. And you don't even have to do it. The attorney does it. And if you're in the right states, like not stupid states, it's like $2,000. So far, I've been fortunate. I haven't had to do it even once. Will I? Yes. I'm preparing myself mentally. It's just like getting sued. You're going to get sued, just like you're going to have to foreclose on somebody if you stay in the game long enough. Okay, but passivity. Notes is the closest thing to truly passive income in real estate. You're being a huge blessing to your buyer. I want you to think about this. This woman thought that she was going to have to rent because she cannot qualify for a loan. She hasn't had her job more than 2 years, and she's quitting her job and she's moving across state lines to Virginia and is going to buy this house. Could she get a loan? Absolutely not. She just quit her job and she hasn't been at that job for 2 years. What about if you have a BK, a bankruptcy, in the last 7 years? Can you get a loan? Nope. What if you have inconsistent income? Draws and pulls of greater than 21% per month? Nope. So any of y'all who are entrepreneurs, sucks to suck. You can't get a loan either. So are you just gonna suck it up? No, we can provide a huge blessing to somebody who, up until the point that they talk to you, they think that they're just doomed to rent. Do they want? By the way, we track all of these metrics. I love calling people up and saying, hey, I know that you're interested in renting this house. We've been kicking around the idea of actually selling this with owner financing. Is there any particular reason that you're looking to rent? They say, yeah, my credit's crap. Yeah, I have inconsistent income. Yeah, I can't get a loan or whatever. Well, I'm going to be providing it with owner financing. But just curious, is this a house that you could see yourself owning? Is this a house that you would want to own? More than 80% of people say yes. They went to the house wanting to rent it, or like thinking that they were going to rent it, but they actually would love the opportunity to own it. So we are extending the opportunity of home ownership to somebody who, before meeting you today, was doomed at renting. Some people will say, well, Keith, you're gonna give them a very high interest rate. You're darn right I am. 9.99% is pretty stinking high. We've gone to 12% before. It was like a $60,000 house, so stop judging me. Well, that's really high. Well, what's the interest rate for renting? It's 100% interest. There is no principal pay down when you're renting. And so you're extending an opportunity not only for them to have the American dream of home ownership, but instead of throwing down their money down the toilet in rent, they actually pay down, they get equity, they can paint the walls, they can build a fence, they can have dogs. All these things that are very restrictive if they're renting. And so that's how you can be a blessing to the other person, the buyer. You can take advantage of a downward market, a very turbulent time with, as I was talking about in the beginning of this, the 10-year treasury bond interest rates and the price of homes right now. You can take advantage of selling a house at the peak and you don't have to suffer of riding the wave down. Another thing is you're being a blessing to them, but if you structure this right, this will potentially be a life-changing asset to your family. I want you to imagine if I did 3 of these per year, $1,100 of cash flow. If I did 3 of these per year for 5 years. Y'all, I don't like to talk about my age, but I'm about to turn 29. I've been doing this for 8.5 years. I want you to imagine where you will be in 5 years doing this. I don't care what your age is. I don't freaking care if you're 70 years old. Think about what could happen. And I'm talking at a low level, 3 deals per year. My God, you can do way more than 3 deals per year. One of our newest clients, he's a personal friend of mine. He lives, I don't know, 15 minutes away from me. You know how friends sometimes make the worst clients? Don't tell him I said this, but I thought that he might be one of those people. I brought him into the program, into REI Automated. And I was like, oh gosh, like I hope he doesn't just like squander this opportunity and like not pay attention. Well, he did. I had a little touch point call with him last week. He's been in the program less than 60 days. I signed him up less than 60 days ago. Had a little touch point call with him. Hey, how are things going, Steve? How's it been? He's like, dude, I'm floored. I'm like, great. You getting a lot of value out of the program? He says, yeah. What about your results? Do you have any wins? Dude, on Monday, I put my 5th property under contract. What? No, you did not. Yeah, I put my 5th property under contract. You've only been marketing for 30 days. That's been a little bit more than that. I said, go look at when your first lead was generated and tell me how many days it's been. He goes back, he scrolls. There's 38 days. 5 properties under contract in 38 days. Now, is he going to close on all 5 of those properties? Likely not. Statistical probability says 1 of them will fall out. If he's doing good, 2 of them will fall out. If he's doing okay. And if he's absolute garbage trash and I've taught him nothing, 3 of them will fall out. 2 deals will still go through. Hello. First 30 days, I would say that's 38 days, whatever. I'd say that's pretty good. How many deals is he going to do this year? So when I say 3, I really am. And by the way, his budget is about $2,000 per month in marketing. It's very reachable. Real estate can be life-changing. Well, it can be life-changing in both good and the bad. We're here to be a blessing for the people that real estate has just been the biggest hindrance, and they have a burden. The house is the burden. The situation is the burden, and we can help them by taking on this burden. It's their burden. One man's trash is another man's treasure. You know, taking on this house, it can turn into a huge blessing for your family. It can change your legacy. My kids are going to be different. They are going to have a very, you know, Gerhardy, you're talking about my childhood and it kind of being robbed, and it was. My kids live a very different life because of real estate, because of opportunities like this. So, in summary, 3 things. Number 1, never give an offer. Number 2, structure the deal appropriately on the acquisition. And number 3, especially in a downward market, like I believe that we're turning into right now, structure the deal on the disposition side with creative finance. That's how we're doing deals. We're still buying them with cash. We just negotiate. Well, it's reverse negotiation. We're not beating people up over the head over the price or anything. But on Sunday or Monday, I forget what day it was, we bought a house. We contracted a house. We're closing on it next week. We bought this house for $2,000. I'd like to show it to you, actually. Share screen. I don't actually know which one of these it's going to be. Apparently, we're buying up this whole street because I bought one person's house and then I just ended up buying a neighbor's house. So you'll notice that I have 2 houses with a nearly identical address. One of them is 600 West Churchill, and one of them is 601 West Churchill. Admittedly, I don't know which one it is, but let's see if we have some link to pictures. Here we go. Y'all, $2,000. Are you ready? I'm not saying that this is pretty, but that hot water heater alone is worth half of what I put down for this house. Not even down. That
Yeah,
$2,000 is the whole freaking, that electrical panel. No kidding. That electrical panel is worth $2,000. Everything, the clothes alone is 1/10 of what I bought the house for, right? We're only one picture. I only have like 8 pictures of this house, but genuinely, I don't care that there's not a floor. When you are buying a house for $2,000, you shut up and take my money. Like, I'm buying this house right now. Look at the cabinets. Hello. We turned right around and we wholesaled it. Look, for $2,000, I didn't expect there to even be carpet.
Right. Right.
Much less, like, that's actually in really good condition. There's no
Right.
stains.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Jen, did you ask if there's a roof?
Yeah,
There is a roof. Lo and
That's
behold, and it
amazing.
doesn't even leak.
that's amazing.
There's nothing, there's everything cosmetically wrong with the house, but there's nothing structurally wrong with the house. We talk about all systems go or system failure. So we'll look at from the ground up, we look at structural, like, is there cracks in the walls indicating that the floor is settling or something? Especially, this is in Texas. This is in a town called Electra, Texas. Texas has horrible settling issues. And so we'll make sure that it's structurally sound. The next thing that we're going to look at is think about systems as like lights, plumbing, gas, that sort of thing. So am I going to have an electrical fire? Is there wiring, or did some idiot freaking rip out all the copper wiring in this house? Is there plumbing? Does the plumbing work, or is there giant leaks if I turn this on? Gas lines, gas lines functional, right? So we had the home inspected and everything came back, again, structurally good, to include the roof. Just cosmetically, like, and there's not even holes in the walls. It's just like sometimes there's not flooring. Look at this other one, by the way. I think that we got pictures of this one. Ah, shucks, we haven't got the photos from this one yet. Anyway, yeah, you can see we're closed on this one July 15th, but I think that we just moved it up to either July 3rd or July 6th. So, you know, on that one, I didn't have a creative finance entrance. It was cash. I didn't have a creative finance exit. It was a wholesale. But did I get it at a good price? Could I possibly lose money on this house? It's literally impossible. The land alone is worth far more than $2,000. Okay. So learn how to negotiate. And by negotiate, I mean reverse negotiate. Put properties under contract for the right price. And by that, I mean don't give offers. All right. I think I'm done. Thank you all for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, it was good stuff. And last week we did our live call was all on negotiation, and we'll get the replay up on that. We actually do provide training on and scripts. So if you need help with your negotiation and all that, then we can help you. Okay. Does anyone have any questions though before we get going? And I make some dirty low ball offer. No, just kidding.
Thanks, Quenisha. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll take it doesn't have to be topic related, by the way. As soon as I'm done yapping about whatever topic I came prepared to talk about, then we can talk about anything. Any question you want, I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. Y'all only get this opportunity once.
Yeah.
So
I just put out here one thing real quick. So we've been pushing this pretty hard, but I just want to say it again. So if you click that link, you'll go there. The first course that we offer is all on deal structure. So when Keith's talking about, sorry, Billy, can you give me 1 second?
yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
So
Yeah, Chris.
thank you. When Keith's talking about, you know, the different kinds, having multiple entrance strategies, multiple exit strategies available to you, that's what this course teaches. And then we included our marketing course and our KPIs course. The KPIs really, everyone needs this. If you're running any kind of business, you need it. But our KPIs are really what Keith tracks in his business because they're what teach him where his points of failure are. And so when you have that and you use it properly, then you'll know where you're messing up. And then you can go in and you'll be able to fix that. And then the marketing one is teaching like different kinds of inbound marketing that Keith uses in his business, such as PPC, PPL, or in some cases sweat marketing, which you can even do remotely nationwide, actually. So you just get someone else to do it for you. And it's fairly cost effective. So it's totally
far the
worth
cheapest.
going in and learning this stuff. So the marketing and the KPIs courses are both free. We included those as bonuses with the deal structure course. So, and it's just $97. So this is actually quite valuable. And then if you do purchase it, the next thing that we offer are our scripts. And that is the triage call and perfect presentation and the training that goes with them. And that's where it's like a deep dive on reverse negotiation, how to talk to the seller, what not to say so you don't scare them off, things like this, so that
I even
you're
include
actually
recordings of me, like
and
really
recordings of
actually putting
Yep.
properties under contract, actually triaging real sellers.
Yeah. So very valuable courses that we've discounted quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
And then if you want, yeah, more, then there's some other things that we're offering in there. You just go to the next one. If you decide you don't want it, there's a link that says, no, I don't want that. In some cases, you might find something even more special.
You're probably gonna want it.
It's a
And
little
it's probably
rabbit
gonna be at
hole.
a steep discount.
So, just go through it and then decide if you do want it, if you don't want it, and then check it out. So I think this is a lot of like some of the best parts of our education that we feel probably if you're new or even if you're not new, because we've had people who are like, I've got, 23 years of
Yes.
experience in real estate, and they're like, I did not know this stuff. This is some of the best, like the
Literally.
best stuff I've ever
People who have done
heard.
hundreds of transactions, and they'll come in and they're like, wow, I learned stuff from literally your very first video. I didn't know this
Yeah.
stuff was possible. Or I heard this stuff, but I don't know how to execute it.
Yeah. And then obviously, we offer higher and higher levels of support and coaching and all that stuff. But if you're just getting started out, you don't want to invest a lot of money yet, I think this is a really great option to help you. We even have a purchase and sale agreement somewhere in this funnel. Just keep going. It will pop up. Um, you'll see. And then if you wanted to negotiate, with Keith, and say, hey, I want to, how much are you willing to give this to me for? Then you can book a call and
Just hop on a call with me.
hop on a
If you-
call, tell
if
him
you can
what you
negotiate
need.
me. Oh,
Because at
welcome
the
in.
end of the day, what we really want to do is we want to help real estate investors, and maybe you have some solutions already and you don't need certain things, but maybe there are some things that you do need help with, and just having a quick conversation and going through what those needs are and helping us identify those, and then we probably have a solution that's going to help you significantly. So at the end of the day, basically, Keith Keith and I have talked about this quite a bit. He's spent like about, what is it, $200,000 on different
courses?
mentorships and
Oh, yeah.
courses
North
and
of that for sure.
somewhere. And I've worked together with him to kind of distill all of that into different courses and trainings to help. And this is the stuff that he's using actively in his own business. So that's what we're trying to do here. And we appreciate your patience as I explain all this. But I just wanted you guys to know that this is actually worth much more than the $97 price tag that we've put on it. But it's more about helping each of you just make more money and do better at real estate investing. All right, so
Well,
we'll
great.
take some questions now. Keith's
Get into it.
excited.
I always love questions. This is
Fielding
actually
those
my
questions.
favorite part.
Right.
Miss Billy, you want to ask your question? You were first here. Oh, she froze. Terrible time to freeze. Jen, Quenisha, you ladies have any questions? Jen, what is the
No,
biggest?
I don't have any questions at the moment.
Okay,
I didn't really get the last bit of the video, so no, I don't have any questions right now.
we'll make sure to give you the replay.
Okay.
Cool. Would anybody like a quick hot seat session, which is literally 5 to 10 minutes where I riddle you with questions, diagnose your biggest bottleneck, and give you the one thing that I think is the most important for you to focus on over the next 30 days. I can only see 2 of your faces, and both of you have the same expression.
Okay. I had my
Jen?
onboarding call today, so you'll be seeing a lot more of me, but
You're already a client. Well, fan freaking tastic. Thanks. You just got a
Welcome,
lot.
Jen.
Now you know what you just signed up for. You're like, oh my God, are you serious?
no.
Okay. You just had your onboarding call today. That means that you spoke with Nick yesterday. Yes.
Yes,
And you spoke with
Nate.
Nate today. Fantastic. All right, very good. Well, let me let's do this. All right, we are no longer live in the group. Hot seats are not a topic that you want to be broadcasting in the Facebook group.
No.
And then when we do the replay, I'll trim this out. So this is genuinely just between you and I. Okay, where are you in your real estate investing business?
I've been wholesaling for almost a little under a year.
Okay.
I work a full-time W-2, so I'm
Okay.
doing this on the side, and have tried a whole bunch of things. I've been running, I've done a couple deals,
Mhm.
like 3, 4. I've got 2 under contract right now. But I want to supersize that.
Okay.
What
do you do for work?
I'm a lawyer for the federal government.
No kidding. In what capacity?
I do campaign finance law.
Campaign. Oh, well, this is the busiest year ever. Freaking A. Oh my gosh.
Well, I can't say it without laughing.
Yeah. That's so funny. Okay.
Yeah, it is a bit of a joke, isn't it?
It
That's
is.
hilarious. That's good. But you're well paid. You're just
Yeah.
extremely busy right now. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The 2 deals that you have in your contract, what was the form of marketing that you used to find them?
I think they were Facebook ads.
You were running Facebook ads.
I am running Facebook ads.
You are currently right now.
Yes.
Great. That'll be probably one of the very first things that I encourage you to stop doing.
Yeah, that works for me.
What is your budget?
600 a month.
And did you get both of them under contract in the last month?
Yes.
Okay, no lie, that's actually an exceptional cost per contract for Facebook ads. That's exceptional. So, like, it's almost too good to be true. That's damn near impossible.
It's taken a lot of months to get to that point.
Wow. Don't turn it off. I'm gonna
How
hold
many
off
how
on-
many months have you been doing that?
I've been running Facebook ads probably since November.
8
Okay.
months. Yeah, that's actually a really low budget to get 2 properties under contract. You know, just because you put a property under contract doesn't mean that it's a deal, right? You're gonna learn that as you go through our due diligence. I actually just shot a video on that today. And wrote some stuff out of like, hey, just because you got a property under contract, you have to make sure that this contract's actually a deal. I see so many people, it's way too high. It's impossible to wholesale it. And there's no way that you would take title to it because you'd be immediately underwater. No way to be profitable. But nonetheless, good job getting 2 properties under contract, $600 per month on Facebook. I hate Facebook ads typically just because they're so low intent. I'd like you to think about the 2 main reasons why somebody's going to be on Facebook or any social media platform. The first one is for social engagement, checking in on their ex-girlfriend or their cousin or whatever. Or the other reason is just for entertainment purposes, just scrolling. And so when your Facebook ad hits them, hi, I'm Jen, and I buy houses in Connecticut, or where, you know, I'll give you a fair, fast cash offer today. Just click the link below. Like, nobody cares. They're not there for that. And so typically the intent is really, really, really low. They're not there for that. Whereas with Google, which is my preferred media, at $600 per month, I'm not going to recommend this for you.
Also, I did run some pay-per-click.
You're not spending enough.
I wasn't spending, well, that budget was $1,000 a month and it just wasn't enough.
It's still I always recommend 2,500 but with PPL, pay per lead, we'll get you hooked up when you get into
I just started doing some of those.
Cool. Yeah. $600 a month will be deadly. That I actually only spend about $500 per month, between $500 to $600 per month in PPL. And this month, of the 5 that we put under contract, 2 of them were from PPL. And so cost per contract, roughly $220, $250.
Yeah.
We haven't spent the whole amount over the month, right? It's only the 27th. So your cost per contract is actually really, really good. I wouldn't want you to shut down your ads. When it comes to last month, let's talk metrics from last month. How many properties did you put under contract?
None.
What about the month previous?
None. It
The
was a
two
long dry
properties-
spell.
The two properties that you put under contract, did they come from leads that were generated in the last 30 days, or were they old follow-up leads that were nurtured through a pipeline?
One was nurtured and
Okay.
one was new.
Okay, this explains a couple of things. All right. Both of them cash entries.
Yes.
Do you know how to do sub two and owner finance entries?
Mhm.
Okay. Why did you not go for them?
We tried to sell them on it and it was no go. They wanted cash.
What was their motivation?
One, they are sick of tired landlords, basically. And the other, they want to move closer to the grandchildren.
Well, okay. So tired landlord, one of the big five motivators. I love hearing this. Any sort of relocation for this, that, and the other thing, I don't really care. I find that most of these, if we put them under contract, they don't actually make it through to close.
Yeah.
And you're certainly not going to get a deep discount unless they just really love their grandchildren and they have to go right now. They're not going to discount their house like less than 20 cents on the dollar, like like I was showing you. And they're not going to sell their house for $2,000 either.
No.
But tired landlord certainly is. So let's talk about this one. What are the numbers? What is the ARV?
Give me 1 second. ARV is 250,
How much repairs?
50.
Any arrears?
No.
Mortgage?
Yes, it's 105.
What percent?
6 something. Don't remember off the top of my head.
How old is it?
The house or the mortgage?
The mortgage.
I don't actually know that, I don't think.
When did they buy it?
They've been there for a while. 14
Yeah, it's either a
years.
really old or a really new mortgage. You
They
think
bought in
about-
2017.
No, then they've recently refied it, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, when I heard they bought in 2017, I thought, oh my God, this rate might be amazing. And
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
They're stupid for refining. They should have never done that.
yeah, it was like 6.8. It was not good. I mean,
Dang, okay. And how much do they need to walk away with?
they need to pay the mortgage off. So it's like 105.
Uh-huh. Any additional cash?
They wanted more. Yeah, they wanted 200.
What did you contract the property at?
It's under at. Oh, where is that number? It's under at 150.
Okay, so their walk away is 45.
Yeah,
What do they need the 45 for?
moving expenses. To
Golly.
get set up and stuff. How old are they?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't
Yeah,
know that.
that 45 can go down. I mean, I moved from Hawaii to Florida. You can't get much further geographically and
Yeah, no, you can't.
$45,000.
Yeah.
Have you got a home inspection?
No,
Do you plan on it?
no.
Aha, all right. I want you to write this down. N as in November, V as in Victor, M as in Mama, and S as in Sierra. November, Victor, Mike. It's not Mama. You should never say Mama. That is not. What is this thing called? Alphanumeric alphabet or whatever. NVMS. November, Victor, Mike, Sierra. And then go to, I think it's repairestimator.com. I don't actually do this process anymore. Repair estimator.
I just put nvms.com in the chat, but I don't know if that's what you wanted,
Yeah,
Keith.
that's correct. It's not repairestimator.com. Dang it. I might be providing this to you after the call today. There's a service that we use. It's $110 for expedited report.
Wow.
You'll send NVMS out there, and then they give you a report. You take that report, you upload it into this repair estimation software. I think they turn it back to you in about 1 day or 2 days or so. It's $110. So you're going to pay, gosh, I literally don't even do this. I don't know how much this costs. I could ask Mel. Maybe it's like $200, I think, for NVMS and about $110 for the repair estimator thing. So all in, you're less than $350. And if they're going to tell you, hey, Jen, the house needed this, and then it's itemized. It's like, hey, this is going to cost. We saw this in the report. This is going to cost $8,000. We saw this in the report. This is going to cost $12,000, $18,000, so on and so forth. And you can take that back to the seller and renegotiate.
Right.
Well worth the $350 that it's going to cost.
Yes.
That's what I would recommend doing, because number one, we both know that it's not going to take $45,000
No.
to actually move. Secondly, what if you, so we always pendulum, we call it pendulum swing, from price to terms, from price to terms. So price right now is 150. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to get that 150 down to 130, 125, 120, right? And then you're eventually going to get them to say, no, I cannot take anything less than this. I have to get this amount. Well, Jen, you know, maybe I could get you to 130 if we do this another way. Now, kind of like how I was telling you about earlier, there's two ways that I buy houses. First is with all cash. We do this multiple times per month when there's a lot of equity in the house, but there's not a lot of equity to be playing with here. The second way is I set it up so that I take over your monthly payments. So if we were to do that, if we were to leave this mortgage in place temporarily after close, again, I'm not saying that I can, but I'm kind of going out on a limb here. If we were to leave it in temporarily after close, that's how I could get you the $30,000. Would something like that work? And so we're going to structure it. And they'll be, I really can't, I cannot leave the mortgage in after close because we're buying another house or whatever their reason is, right? Well, like I said, we're going to pendulum swing back from terms back to cash. Well, like I said, I can balloon out that mortgage, but 130 is that really the least that you could take? And really, we don't want to say 130. We have to bring it down to their actual walkaway. I need you to use the verbiage. You're going to learn all of this in the script, by the way. Break it down. We don't care what the purchase price is. We don't care about the sales price. How much are you walking away with? Cash in hand or check in hand, good as cash, away from the closing table. That's the number that we're always going to be negotiating with. Because you can absolutely get the price down. And what's the city and state?
Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Oh, believe it or not, I've done a deal there. That is not a very common place. Yes.
No, it's not.
That's so funny.
That's a very tiny town. Is
Well
there a
done.
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma?
Broken Bow.
I feel like I've done a Broken Arrow.
Bow.
I don't remember. Broken.
I think there
Bow.
actually is a Broken Arrow too.
All right, so Broken Bow is right on the river.
Mhm.
Broken Arrow. Oh my goodness sakes. There is a Broken Arrow. I don't actually know where I've done it. Population. It was Broken Arrow. Never mind. It wasn't Broken Bow. Broken Arrow is much larger. 118,000 in Broken Arrow, and Broken Bow is population 4,000. Yeah. All right. Good God. No way.
I don't have, I mean, I don't have good hope. I don't have good feelings about this one.
You. Oh boy. Anything in Oklahoma outside of like Oklahoma City, obviously,
Yeah, it's too
Um,
small.
it's so hard to Tulsa. Okay, but nothing compares to the capital. Yeah, this is so far out in the middle of freaking nowhere that you're gonna need to get this at a much steeper discount.
Yeah,
Or if you're gonna wholesale, you need to get it at a much steeper discount. I'm talking like it needs to be like $5,000 walk away, and maybe you'll get it wholesale. But I don't think so. I think that this is gonna end up turning into a little bit longer than a wholesale, potentially a novation. We can, if you don't know how to do that, that's one of the things that we can teach you. Potentially a novation if they don't have to close quickly. If they can wait 4 months or 5 months. I don't know what the days on market is, so you need to do your own research on there. Novation, Gerhard, and the easiest way that I can explain it is it's a wholesale on the MLS.
yeah. I know what they are. I
Actu-
haven't done one yet.
Okay, cool. They're not actually a wholesale on the MLS, but that's just conceptually. I know that you know what wholesaling is, and I know you know what the MLS is. Just kind of marry the idea. If they can hold off, they don't have to close immediately. Novation is going to be my second choice. Reason being, I don't actually want to touch this house. This is like so far out in the middle of nowhere. The only way that I would be willing to take title, the only way that I would be willing to take title is if that loan stays in place.
Yeah.
And if their walkaway is greater than, let's say $10,000, that's reasonable. Yeah. If their walkaway is greater than $10,000, then I have to do, we call it some now, some later, or owner financing on their walkaway amount. So if their walkaway was 20,000, for instance, I'm going to need to take the 105 sub 2 and break that $20,000 into like 5,000 today, and then monthly payments of $400, principal only, monthly payments of $400 until paid. Something like that would work because that will give you the ability to wrap it or rent it and still cash flow. But you have to make sure that you're safe. Days on market, time kills all deals here.
Yeah.
And that's going to be my biggest thing that scares me in an area that's so rural like Broken Bow.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't quite the hot seat that I was expecting, but hopefully that was beneficial. Cool. All right. You have any follow-on questions with that, Jen?
No.
Cool. Hey, don't buy any of the stuff that Ryan was talking about earlier because you're already gonna get
you
it.
don't buy that.
Yeah.
We actually have clients all the time. They'll come on this and they're like, "Oh my god, that sounds sexy," and then they buy it and I have to refund them. And I'm like, "Stop doing this."
Look at what
All
you
right.
get first.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Look at
What you get first. That's right. You got everything.
You have everything.
You got the whole package.
The only
Boom.
thing that you don't have, which is kind of a big deal, you're a starter client, not a professional client.
Yeah.
There's going to be two big things that I would implore you. I don't know why you did starter, and we don't need to get into it right now. There's two big things that you're missing out on. The first is the CRM.
I have something similar.
Nothing compares to what we have.
No, probably not. But that's why I didn't do it, because I have already.
Oh, well, if that's really the reason why, I promise you, you will not last 2 weeks in our program. Once you see what other people are doing and what they have, you're gonna be like, my freaking system sucks. I cannot believe that I'm paying for this crap. The one thing is the CRM, and then the second thing is the CSM. So Nate actually is our lead CSM, and today, unfortunately, is the last time that you're going to see him. Otherwise, he would be your one-on-one personal coach that you can call him. You can
we
text
scheduled
him.
a call for next week.
For a launch call, right?
Launch call.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other than that, you only get an onboarding and a launch call. Other than that, you don't have any contact with him, which is unfortunate. I love that man to death. we go way back. Like we were teenagers together. His dad and my dad were hunting buddies. He was one of my groomsmen in my wedding. I love him very, very dearly. He's one of the greatest men I've ever met. You will, well, I was going to say you will love him, but you're barely going to get to know
Really
him.
gonna get something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind. CRM, CSM.
When you upgrade to professional,
Yeah.
then you'll love him.
Then you'll understand what I'm talking about. It
It's
really is.
aspirational.
It's helpful to have him reaching out. Hey, Jen, what are your questions? I noticed that you haven't done this, or you're a little bit behind. Like he will go in and audit your crap. He will go in and audit your CRM, audit your leads, audit your KPIs. Why is this? Why is this? Why is this? He'll hop on a Zoom call. He will call you. You need something on a, he's going to slap me for saying this, but you need help early in the morning, late at night, on a weekend. He's there.
Not so early in the morning. He told me where
Yeah.
he lives. So
Yeah, not so
Oh.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so early.
Early his morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
He'll get to you. If he's awake, he'll get to you. All right.
Now,
Very
if
cool.
you need help, I can help you very early in the morning.
Very early in the morning.
Because I'm on the other side of the world, so I'll be up
Oh.
before you are.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think that was very insightful, of course, and yeah, thank you for letting us do that with you, Jen. And we're wishing you lots of luck in the program. And you'll be in the Facebook group, and there's the daily support calls. Highly recommend that you go
Yeah, you
in
gotta go.
because you're going to get a lot of value out of that, not just from Keith or Brandon, but also the other members of the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I think it's a great opportunity to network there, and then a lot of our members they're sharing not only their wins but also maybe some challenges that they're having or opportunities. Some of our members also act as private money lenders. So when you need funding for a deal, you
One
can
of
be
them
like,
just posted in the group today, so hop on
Yeah.
him before anybody
Yeah.
else does.
They've got capital for you. But you're going to want to use our tools to do your deal analysis and the due diligence and everything so that you know and they know that the deal is going to be solid. That's going to help quite a bit. So our deal analyzer tool is quite good for that.
All right.
I hope that
Yeah.
helps you.
Oh, it does. It definitely does.
Great.
Cool.
Okay.
Is there-
Thank you very much. Yeah, Keith, go ahead.
Is there anything that anybody else wanted to go over? Not else, but Jen, you're still welcome to say something. Is there anything else that anybody wants to cover this evening?
Yeah.
Nope, it has been great.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, guys. Really good.
Yeah, you're very
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So this is the kind of stuff I think you're going to get out of office hours or a one-on-one call with your coach. And even I now sometimes hop on calls and I'm like, so what are you doing in your business? And what
So
and a lot of it's like you just as you do it and you are talking and learning this stuff, it's not so complicated.
Yeah.
And really, it's just about going through that each step and gaining the experience and getting confident. That's real. The confidence factor is huge. So hopefully you can borrow that. Queen Ashley, yeah, that last link there, Keith, you suggested the NVMS. What was the reason why you suggested? Is that to get the
Oh,
inspection?
NVMS, yeah, it's not a true home inspection from a licensed home inspector. Licensed home inspector, they literally have a license, they have a card, they have a stamp. NVMS is not that. It's a lower level inspection than a home inspection. But for the purpose, so I do this on any house that we're not taking title to. If I am taking title to it, I will get a proper home inspection. They're just about $200 more. If the true intent of the inspection is to renegotiate, NVMS all the way. It's going to provide you all the things that you need to plug it into, well, either our repair estimator or even preferably, because third-party validation, there's something to be said about it. We have a very detailed, itemized repair estimator that's arguably even better than the resource that I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah, Nick showed it to me.
Yeah. But having somebody else's logo, somebody else's name, somebody else's kind of brand on there is like, hey, this is what I think. Don't trust me though. They backed it up, and actually their number was even higher than mine.
Yeah.
With that being said, you didn't tell me about this. You didn't tell me about this. You didn't tell me about this. But we agreed on this price, and that's not really fair. like, you didn't tell me about these things. So I'd like to ask for a dollar reduction on these big ticket items. I'm not gonna beat you up over price, but just these are the big 3 things that you did not tell me about.
So
Yes,
just
sir.
to clarify, you get a regular home inspection and then send it to nvms.com and they put repair amounts behind it?
No. So two different inspections. You have a home inspection or you have NVMS. NVMS stands for National Vendor Management Services or something like that.
All right.
So these are the different home inspectors. You have a
Mhm.
licensed home inspector, then you have a low level inspection.
Okay.
And then you're gonna push that to some unknown freaking website that I cannot think of right now. And I Googled it and it still didn't pop up. I could go through some messages or find it somewhere. I can post it in the Facebook group as well. But you'll upload the inspection, and like a person who actually hires contractors to actually do repairs will physically manually scroll through, look at the pictures, see what was written in the report, and they're going to plug it into their software. That's why you have to wait 1 to 3 days. Expedited is 1, regular turnaround time is 3 days, because there's an actual human being who hires contractors to do this work, and they'll even put you in contact with a contractor if you'd like.
Very good. And the,
Yeah,
and
so-
the report you used for renegotiate the deal.
That's correct. That's correct. So NVMS is if we're wholesaling or doing innovation. And then if I'm going to take title to it, which is every other deal structure strategy, then I will get a full-fledged home inspection.
Very good.
Cool.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. I'm going to go spend some time with my kids before
Yeah.
they go to sleep.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan. Thanks, guys. Have a good
Thank,
Absolutely.
thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Jen.
you.
Thanks, Billy.
Thanks
Thanks,
for being
Ganesha, and others.
Enjoy
Okay.
your evening, guys. Talk
See you next
soon.
week.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.